It is all kinds of energy.
So what happened?
Everything's moving so quickly.
It's kind of like an extended family, the way we engage people.
So on that note, let's be safe today, guys.
I've been in Federal Way working routes for 22 years.
Great relationships are not built in a day.
I lived in the Northwest for over 50 years.
They develop over time.
This lovely lady is my wife, Elizabeth, and she's been with me for 59 years, so I think she's a keeper.
Mr. Crowley just had hip surgery.
What's important is how you build them.
We care about the customer.
It's building trust by keeping commitments.
Exactly. All right, well, you're all set up and ready to go.
It's the professional driver, safely and consistently serving your neighborhoods.
I've been on this route for like 15, 16 years.
How can I help you today?
It's the friendly voice answering the call.
Of course, it is absolutely my pleasure.
It's the local team engaging with city staff day in and day out to provide the highest level of service to Federal Way.
We started out with a small idea. We wanted to create the world's first interactive radio drama. We were mobile first to begin with. Luckily, Alexa came along. I remember, I told my team, okay, I think we're going to make a pivot here. I think we're going to focus on Alexa.
I have thousands and thousands of Connects. And I'm like, why not try and learn Alexa and do something cool with the Raspberry Pi? I remember I spent almost an entire weekend doing it, like barely any sleep.
My first skill is pretty simple. It's called Black History Every Day.
Patricia Bath, first black woman to serve on staff.
It started to work on April 3rd, 2017, which happened to be my 60th birthday. And I cried when it worked. I cried tears of joy.
Tell unofficial Raspberry Pi card to move the car forward.
The car is moving forward.
We are driving my car with my voice.
Please tell me what category of words you want to practice on.
Adjective.
Great. How do you say curious?
Curious.
You said it correctly.
I built Doctor Speech, and this is a skill that helps educating people how to speak better. Because people who are from overseas, they are self-aware about how they speak. I have one user, he literally wrote a message in Chinese to me like that. Doctor Speech is really helpful, and thank you for building it.
SmartCap takes the images from the camera and it interprets what's in the image, and then it narrates the scene to the visually impaired person through Amazon Alexa. Alexa, ask SmartCap to describe the scene.
It is a desk with a monitor and a laptop computer sitting on a table.
As soon as I saw the video of the person using the device, it was a eureka moment for me, and the feeling from inside is like you are doing something good in life and it can help others to achieve what they want.
I was really super surprised when people that I didn't even know started to ask me, what are you doing to your skin? Can you smell that? Transform, balance, and restore. That is what Essential Apothecary is all about. This is magic. One of the biggest challenges for me in starting this line was to procure ingredients that are not common. I use local honey and local beeswax, fresh herbs that are grown locally. The plant hydrosols are distilled from a grower in Eastern Washington. I get to pull all these ingredients out, look at them, smell them, be around them, honor them. Your skin has an affinity for these natural products, so it just soaks it in. You're feeding every cell. I'm certified as a nutrition therapy practitioner. I'm using food or food-based ingredients to heal the body. I put my love and joy into every bottle that's created. I get to enjoy the alchemy behind the creation. And then I get to put them in a jar, and you get to have that experience at home. You get to slather your skin with these gorgeous products and be radiant when you rinse them off. You're feeding your body, mind, and spirit.
It became such this sort of like mad dash whirlwind.
Should she just be sitting in there and looking at that screen?
I think she just didn't want to leave it unfinished. She knew that the end was coming. You know, she was sort of staring it down.
That's how she looked when I met her. This was in '75. Getting paid $5 an article. She could write about anything.
She wanted to have a late life career as a novelist. She wanted to publish a book. It was absolutely a race. It was technically uterine cancer, but metastasized to the liver and abdomen. We had like family friends and friends of family friends, like helping with submitting the paperwork to Amazon for the self-publishing. So it was such a celebration when this box of books arrived. She had done the work to really complete it, and she'd worked so hard to get it out into the world.
Dear Bobby, I wrote a book. I really did. Here's the proof. She signed it, Jane Lauder, also known as your wife, Jane.
The day that she died, she asked one of us, I think, to hand her a copy of the book.
I think, that's when she decided it was okay to leave. She accomplished her goal. It was called the Betty Davis Club.
The first time I read the book, I remember just putting the manuscript down for a moment and saying, I have uncovered something wonderful and magical. I was almost too excited to finish it.
And then we get a call from the publishing house within Amazon, Lake Union Publishing.
He was nervous about talking to me because publishing this book was literally Jane Lauder's dying wish. Then we began the journey together to put a little polish on it and a repackage.
I can't believe how well the book sold. It blows my mind that many people have read this novel.
This is an unbridled success story. We have sold more than 140,000 copies of the book.
My brother and I both have gotten to travel the world and pay off college debt. When the book does earn a little bit of money, it just feels like a little nudge from Mom, just sort of saying like, hello, I did this thing,
This is the height of its success in her lifetime. Having a self-published book. So.
I'm proud of her. Of course I am.
Thank God she wrote so much. I'm finding new ways to love her.
first conversation with him, Steve went deep fast.
My dad committed suicide at the age of 49 when I was 13. He was very kind, and yet he couldn't be that to himself.
How old are you now?
I'm 49.
Same age, different times.
There's another one of my dad at Christmas time.
Larry Thiele owned a used car lot in Coos Bay, Oregon. He loved fly fishing.
I remember helping him tie flies.
Yeah.
And he was like a master.
Is that your mom?
Looks like my mom and us 4 boys, yeah, around her.
Larry left behind 4 boys, left behind his loving wife, Lillian.
I had to be strong for my mom.
Remember, he was just 13.
There was no other way to. So that's what I did. I didn't have the luxury of saying, let's go work on me. So I've been doing that for a long time.
You're doing it now.
And have been doing it now, yeah.
You keep standing at a distance in the shadow of your shame.
Music is a big part of Steve's life now. Steve loves to sing this song, Old Fashioned Girl it's called. He sang it often as a kid because his mother asked him to.
When you see her, you know that's why I love her so.
He's been in bands.
Let's just do it just one time through the last time. We can do a little softer.
Now in his spare time, he gives voice lessons. Music was a big part of his dad's life, too.
He was a great singer.
I think there, but for fortune, go you or go I.
You know, these streets ain't no joke.
When you're living on the streets, you know the deal.
It's a dog-eat-dog world out here.
It's about surviving, finding a place to sleep.
Man, it's crazy out here.
Everybody open one thing.
Getting that next meal.
Hi. How are you?
A peanut butter and jelly sandwich is Anthony's one meal for the day.
And it's just nice to give people things that they need.
Yeah.
If Anthony only knew what went into his first meal in 24 hours.
You know, tastes good.
This sandwich.
Peanut butter and jelly.
The flow is this: peanut butter passed to jelly.
If he only knew the whole story from the beginning.
Let's start with peanut butter. Let's go.
We could tell him Seattle 5th graders at St. John's School
Do you have white bread?
made the sandwiches that afternoon.
These are going to homeless people who don't have food to eat.
Oh, yeah.
Enough sandwiches to feed all the homeless at City Hall Park.
Oh, my goodness.
If only they knew the rest of the story. The trail of the sandwiches
But this is good.
ends here.
I'm from St. John's School, and we made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I appreciate it.
Should we check your blood pressure today?
But it began months ago.
Want to come in here? Oh, let's go in. We can go in here.
The moment a homeless woman named Adriana
There we go.
walked into the Pioneer Square Clinic and saw something extraordinary on the wall. Adriana wanted to be up there too.
Her story was amazing.
With all the other portraits of patients at the clinic, the homeless men and women who never imagined someone asking them 2 questions.
Oh, she was like, "Can I take a picture of you?"
There.
I'm like, "Yeah, why?"
And, can I paint your portrait?
Okay, I'll do it. Oh, when she said she wanted to do my portrait, I was flabbergasted.
That question itself would make anyone feel
important.
important.
Yeah, de que somebody
Cares.
Yeah.
And she really does.
Yes.
Any pain today?
She
Nothing?
is Nurse Mary Larson,
Yes.
treating the homeless at the clinic by day.
Let me start with your temperature.
By night,
I work from the photos of the patients.
in the comfort of her studio,
I like to do the portraits together, like a group of friends.
she's artist Mary Larson.
When I look at some of these faces, I just see absolute total joy, despite the circumstances. I watch all of these faces progress. They come to life all along the way, but there are moments when there they are. You're almost ready to start having conversations with them.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
But nobody said that the road was going to be easy.
What do you want people to know about you?
15 days after marriage, he started beating me up.
Isn't that something?
I live off just my Social Security.
That's not easy, finding your way out here on these mean streets.
Human beings can come out of hard things.
I'm still alive, doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently I started smiling.
Well, the sparkle in their eyes comes to life.
When she began painting the portraits 10 years ago, she realized she could make a difference.
I start thinking about what we're going to sell the paintings for.
Not for cash, though.
No money for these.
But for the things
750 sticks of deodorant.
the homeless need.
Maybe 800 pairs of brand new underwear.
It's great. Lewis's portrait just sold for something he could use in the winter.
Warm stocking caps.
Around 400 or 500.
His face made somebody happy.
Edwin's portrait, 250 boxes of cereal.
For a food bank.
There'll be a lot of healthy people walking around because of this portrait.
1,000 pairs of brand new socks. 1,500 toothbrushes. 900 tubes of toothpaste.
I couldn't believe it.
Felton's portrait, 750 cans of food.
It just blows me away.
And I said, man, that's a lot of canned goods.
So no money.
Sandwiches, yes.
I can't imagine just having one sandwich to last the whole day.
The question, how many? In exchange for Adriana's portrait, Mary Larson is about to tell those fifth graders.
If you guys are ready for a big challenge, I would like to see if you together are able to make a total of 3,000 sandwiches. Do you think you could do that? Oh my! Well, that will mean you will have fed 3,000 hungry people in Seattle.
It's amazing.
Consider these sandwiches
I'm from St. John's and we made 100 today.
a down payment for the portrait of Adriana that, from now on, hangs on the wall at St. John's.
Close to God. I don't know.
You can thank Nurse Mary Larson.
Made me feel important. Famous.
When our patients lend their faces to this, to be painted, they're helping make a better world. And we need that right now.
Now you know the rest of the story and the trail of this sandwich.
That's perfect.
6 squirts.
Here you go.